Hey, Wembley World Entertainment, I wonder something strange in your neighbourhood. Who are you going to call? Netflix, apparently, because Netflix is going to be moving forward with a brand new Ghostbusters animated movie. So, apparently there was discussions of them doing an animated movie that was supposedly connected to the original show. Then it kind of morphed into being a new show, but it seems to be now they've got a new writer and it's going to be a movie not connected to anything else, as it turns out. So we'll have a look at the article here that talks about this anyway. So we do know that they are trying to get more Ghostbusters things in development and stuff. They're still looking to do the next movie. There's still meant to be a possible show, an animated show that is, that I believe, if I remember correctly, that was Ernie Hudson who brought that one up. But let's have a look anyway. So Netflix's Ghostbusters animation slate has received renewed attention, with an update and the long-awaited film tied to the streaming platform. According to insider tipster the Snyderverse, so Jeff Snyder, the animated Ghostbusters feature is now actively moving forward, with Sam Jarvis attached to write the script. Jarvis' recent credits include episodes of Dollface, produced by Sony Pictures Animation in partnership with Netflix. I have no idea what Dollface is. It does sound familiar though, but I'm not sure what it is. By the way, that last part, if you know what Dollface is, that last part where it says produced by Sony Animation with Netflix, is it an animated thing? If you know it, let me know. And I suppose while you're letting us know whether or not you've ever heard of or seen Dollface, you may as well hit the sub button and the like button and the share button and all those buttons. Why not? The channel has blown up all of a sudden and holy hell, it's great. So let's keep that going. And welcome, of course. So, it is worth emphasizing that this movie is separate from the long gestating animated series Sony and Netflix announced several years ago. So that's where I'm saying like that there was meant to be a new animated show in the works that I think is meant to be connected to the movies. So that show has remained in development since its initial reveal in 2022, when discussions on a future project was also made public. Between the two projects, more concrete updates have emerged so far for the episodic series. The most substantial arrived last summer during the annual ANSI International Animation Film Festival, when Netflix positioned the show within its family spectacle animation lineup. During that presentation, Ben Hybon was confirmed as executive producer and showrunner. Hybon, whose credits include Star Trek Prodigy, that's not a good sign, and Harry Potter and the Deadly Hallows Part 1. The issue I have with that part is Part 1 of Deadly Hallows was boring. You know, it's not bad, but it was boring compared to everything else. Outlined a series that blends horror, comedy, sci-fi, and fantasy with a technical, highly stylized visual approach. So I wonder if that means like the 3D kind of thing, or could it be the way they did Terminator Zero, which was on Netflix? That was very interesting the way they did that. Like it was a 2D animation, but with elements of like the 3D animation, which I think worked quite well. So attendees were also shown early concept art featuring 4 young heroes wielding proton packs against the gritty Manhattan skyline, said to have evoked a similar energy to the Spider-Verse films. Alright, so maybe it's that style then of animation. So oversight of the franchise's animated future comes from Jason Reitman and Gil Keenan, who is the director of Frozen Empire. The duo behind Ghostbusters Afterlife and Frozen Empire. Keenan has previously assured fans that the animated series is still in development while a release window remains publicly unknown. Longtime Ghostbuster Dan Aykroyd has also teased what is in store, saying the upcoming show would deliver a fresh take on Manhattan and its paranormal problems, while hinting that the creative team is aiming for something both exciting and meaningful for long-time fans. with Ghostbusters Day arriving in June and this year marking the 40th anniversary of the real Ghostbusters. That cartoon is 40 years old. Good God. I grew up with that, by the way. I had all the toys. I'm thinking of trying to rebuy them toys, actually. So there is growing hope among fans that Sony and Netflix could finally reveal details on one or both projects as the franchise prepares to return to animation. It seems to be two things are happening, really. There's the movie end of things, the animated movie that is, and this previously announced series. I wonder if they're going to be connected. It says this movie isn't meant to be connected to that other show, but the way they're kind of moving now, I wonder if they will kind of link them up, or will they be two separate things, which might confuse people a little bit, being both animated. I suppose it depends on what the animation style is for it. I'm still kind of trying to get over the 40th anniversary of the real Ghostbusters. Good God, that's insane. Like, again, I grew up watching that stuff and loved it, was obsessed with it. Well, all Ghostbusters stuff, realistically, like the movie, of course, the cartoon and stuff. Again, had all the toys, had the firehouse toy, the one with the grated roof and the floors that you put the little tub of slime on and it oozes down through it, which was great. Had to get rid of it when one of me cats pissed in it. It was just like, oh no, you could not get rid of that smell. So unfortunately the firehouse had to meet its end. All the action figures, some of them, I think I handled them all down to my nephews and stuff, and I think some of them they still actually had the old proton pack. Remember the blue one you stick on your back, and it had the little foam thing that would come out, that's meant to be the beam coming out of the gun part of it, and you'd press the trigger and that would spin, and you had the trap, the doors on the trap would glow in the dark, and you'd stamp on the thing and the air would push the doors out. I had all the crap, loved it all. So, and again, kind of thinking about trying to rebuy some of that stuff. It's insanely expensive now, and it's like, good God, I had all of that stuff and look at the prices now. But a new animated version, I think you definitely can expand the world of Ghostbusters by going back to the animation style. Being with Netflix, okay, you know, that's here, there, never, whatever. You know, Sony has signed a deal with Netflix, but that was more for them to kind of put their movies immediately onto Netflix rather than them actually developing stuff specifically for Netflix. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do with it, providing they actually get it done. I would assume they will get it done, especially if they've brought on this writer now. What did I say his name was? Something Jarvis. It's just the credits that they've named for him. You're kind of going, okay, well, I'm not sure. Again, that dollface, I have no idea. But I would definitely be up for some new animated Ghostbusters. The style will be different, I'm sure. Of course, the question then is if they have any of the normal characters in there, like a Winston. We know very much so that Ernie Hudson has says he very much wants to continue as Winston and wants to do the voice and animation for him if he's in there. So it'll be interesting to see if Winston shows up in it, because of course he owns the Ghostbusters now and he has the science end of things where like all the engineers and stuff are. So bring it on, that's what I say. But what do you guys think? Would you be up for a new Ghostbusters animated movie as well as a separate TV series, unless they end up being the same thing, like connected? Let me know what you think. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff, and hit the hype button. Who are you gonna call? Netflix by the sounds of things, but really the Ghostbusters. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.